Yo, it's part 2, bit. I got my phone
Temples and
upside
stuff.
down
And
and shit.
it's definitely worth a visit if you're ever there. By the way, it's a beautiful little place.
So
But
then I
yeah,
gotta
they're
look
eating dog
down.
there.
That's kind of
That's something that I filmed myself. Well, actually, my producer filmed while we were there, but I was there, and that's what I try to do. Is I try to provide proof and some actual footage of things I've taken myself, so that it's not secondhand information. Okay, let's move on to Guangdong. Let's move to Shenzhen. Now, Shenzhen is a first-tier city. It is on par with Shanghai and Beijing and Guangzhou. It is the only other city other than Shanghai that has a stock exchange in China. It's incredibly sophisticated. And you've got these very rich areas out in Nanshan and places in Coco Park and the CBD with all these beautiful buildings and skyscrapers. And, for all intents and purposes, it looks like a first world country. However, all you need to do is walk around the neighborhoods a little bit, get out of your little bubbles out in Coco Park and Shenzhen Bay areas and stuff, and you will start to see the usual type of China stuff. You'll start to see wet markets. In fact, even in the posh areas, you've got these wet markets where they just sell live animals or freshly killed animals, just meat lying around and stuff. And then you'll also see people, especially during wintertime, serving dog meat.
And that's what I was saying. Yeah, that's the problem with it. Why the fuck y'all got the meat hanging out, just sitting up and doing? You know what I'm saying? Y'all can't put it in refrigerators. China do. You know what I'm saying? That's my problem with it. Like, it ain't the meat. It ain't the type of meat, bro. It's the preparation and the motherfucking the shelf. Like, what's the word? How y'all storage in the meat? How y'all storing the meat? How y'all got it? I don't know, but y'all can put it in the freezer or something. But y'all ain't gotta have that bitch motherfucking ambient air temperature and shit.
Now, this is a carcass that I filmed myself.
Yeah, a carcass. That's what that is, bro. It's a fucking carcass, bro. When it's hanging up looking like that, bro, that's a fucking carcass, dude. Even the butcher, where the butcher cut the meat at in America, it'd be like cold in there. You get what I'm saying? That's my problem with this. I got a problem with that. Because it shouldn't be like that, bro. And when you do go to Chinese places now, they be doing that. But it be cooked meat, though. But they just have it hanging out and shit. That's not cool, dude.
Years ago, I did another video where I showed another. Well, I actually ended up blurring it I was being too nice, but I blurred it, and that was in my local neighborhood in.
I'm from the smoke. Shout out my old people.
Just outside the city center. But this is downtown Lohu where I filmed.
Damn, $1 a pound.
So think about if you went to Times Square, something like that. We're talking about downtown, the very sophisticated part of the city, and all I did was walk down some alleyways, and here we go. People are selling dog meat and there are adverts up for it, the carcass is hanging there. It's not like it's a secret or anything. Of course, if you go to Guangzhou or any place like that, you'll find dog meat too. Anywhere around Guangdong, it's actually fairly, well known. But the most well known, and we're still in the south of China here, don't worry, North, you'll get your turn. The most well known dog meat thing in China is the Yulin Dog Meat Festival. Now I'm going to show you some footage from the Yulin Dog Meat Festival, which was taken by Seamilk when he went there with Charlie. And, I personally have always avoided going here. I got a friend who lives in Yulin. I got a friend who got married in Yulin.
Let me say this too. You got to understand what a dog is. A dog is a retarded wolf. Oh, wait. I can't say that on YouTube. My bad. I ain't mean to say that. A dog is what's the word? A genetically mutant. It's a mutated wolf. That's what it is. It's a mutant. You know what I'm saying? It's a genetically mutated wolf. You know what I'm saying? That's why, like, the French bulldog, them little pug dogs, that's a deformity, dude. Like, people don't know that them little smushed in faces, them bitches can't even breathe. And them dogs be slow as shit. Those dogs have mental problems for real, bro. My mama, boyfriend got one of them little dogs. I think he ended up giving it away. I don't even see it no more. Like, that thing was retarded, bro. It was just running the walls and it was like it was living. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of dogs be like that, like, it's some smart dogs, but it's some stupid dogs out there. And when you think about it, they only live for humans. So why not kill them and eat them? You know what I'm saying? They only live for us, bro. That's because that's how they was mutated. You know what I'm saying? A wolf don't live for humans. That's a wolf and a dog is exactly the same. You know that? Just some genes turned on, some genes turned off. You get what I'm saying? And that's why I say a dog ain't nothing but a genetically mutated wolf. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it ain't nothing. I don't really. It's like you almost could say it's an abomination. You could honestly, it's like because it's a domesticated animal. You know, just like a domesticated cow versus a wild cow. You know what I'm saying? A domesticated cow is meant to be eaten. You know what I mean? I forgot who said that, but somebody was saying that like with the factory farming, with they was talking about how animals are treated in slaughterhouses, and he was saying, I mean, why would you be nice to it? It's finna die. It was born to die. It was born. You had this thing be born so you can kill it in a set amount of time. You know what I'm saying? So you treating it nice and doing all this. I mean, I guess you could do that, but it really ain't gonna make a difference. I ain't gonna say that. It's not cost effective to sit there and try to be nice to the goddamn thing and you finna kill it in a minute. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just don't make no goddamn sense. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I feel with dogs. Dogs don't even live that long. You know, they die like at what? 10, like some dogs, like the longest living dog, like 10, 11, 12, 15, shit like that. The smaller dog, the longer it live, but big dogs die quick. You know what I mean? Big dogs die quick. And then a lot of dogs be having health problems and shit, man. Eat that shit, man. Put that shit on the grill, bro.
And
I wouldn't eat it. I'm just saying, if I was them, put that shit on the grill.
I'm not interested in going.
I'm not interested in dog. It don't even
quite
sound,
frankly, disgusting.
It don't sound appetizing. It don't look good. But if I grew up in China or something, maybe I'd think differently. Shit, maybe if I grew up in Jamaica, I'd probably think differently. Because, like I said, but my granddad used to eat dogs and shit.
Because
not regularly, but he eat dogs. I remember somebody stole his goat because it's illegal to even have a goat in America. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why, but it's illegal to have a goat. And I think that got something to do with factory farming. They just don't want people to have their own source of food. Because you can have a goat in the city. You know what I'm saying? My granddad had a goat in the city and somebody stole that bitch. But, yeah. And it's the same thing with goats. People raise goats just to eat them bitches. You know what I'm saying? They'll have a goat for years and then they just getting it fat. Same thing with a pig. Getting the pig fat and shit and they just eat it. That's what farming
celebrated
is.
And they make a big thing out of the
It's Americans who get attached to the dog and want to keep it forever. You get what I'm saying? But I'm pretty sure in other cultures, like if a dog was about to die or some shit like that, and you know, in the village hungry, they throwing that bitch on the grill, bro. So I guess that's probably where this come from. Even if that dog, like, I can't think of what I'm trying to think of. What it's this one animal. I can't think what it is. Like they have it as a pet the whole life, and then they eat it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like
as to how they, torture and kill these dogs.
Torture, huh? Well, I wonder why he used the word torture just then. Like, would he use that to describe how butchers kill cows? Like, is that torture?
And it's a very public display. And I'm not going to show any dog torture.
When I went to Jamaica, I think I seen a dog get tortured. Cause I ain't gonna say I think I did, bitch. It was this dead dog, bitch. A bitch put that bitch in a bag and lit that bitch on fire on the side of the street in Jamaica, dog. I'll never forget that shit. That shit was lit. Only reason it was lit, cause like there was some chaotic shit. Like I seen a lot of chaos in Jamaica. Like now you starting to see some of that chaos in America, and you don't see no dead dogs and shit like that. Cause you can kill people in America before you kill a goddamn dog. But in Jamaica, bro, it was just like it was so chaotic, and it was like that was the first place where I smelled piss on the street. Like it was just homeless and shit like that, like all type of shit, and like people didn't give a fuck. Like it wasn't no police. It was police around, but like they only came around in convoys and shit to bust a dope house or something. But like I remember this one dude and the bus driver got in an argument about, I don't even know what they got an argument, not all this time I don't remember what they got an argument about. All I remember is how dude in the car, like everybody had to calm this man down because he was about to shoot the fucking bus up. That shit was fire. You know what I'm saying? That shit was raw. You know what I'm saying? This is just me just hanging out on motherfucking. I don't even remember where I was at. It was in Kingston 8 though. It was somewhere in Kingston 8 on some lane with my cousins them. Cause I got family members that still live in Jamaica to this day. Like how I say my granddaddy came here, his brothers and sisters still live over there. You know, the ones that's still alive and stuff like that, and my cousins and stuff. Shout out to my cousins, but you know.
Cooking alive and skinning alive footage, because I've seen that with my own eyes, and it's
I even got
horrendous,
cousins
and
that
it's
done
the
got
kind of thing
deported
that
from
stays
America
with
back
you.
to Jamaica.
And I would not want to
Real
inflict
Jamaica.
that on anyone else. I mean, you're talking about someone from South Africa.
Everybody knows that Zoom has blown up recently. I'm sure a lot of people have probably made money by investing in Zoom. But did you know you can make up to $15,460 per month using Zoom without even having to invest a penny? I know it sounds crazy, but the following steps I'm about to show you, more than 1,621 people have already used to replace their 9-to-5 income within 21 days. Plus, they did it from anywhere in the world on their own terms, using any phone, laptop, or any device that connects to the internet. So just so we're on the same page, this has nothing to do with all the overwhelming nonsense that you've probably heard about online. So you can forget about selling on Amazon, forget about affiliate marketing, starting an agency, you can forget about that, YouTubing, blogging, nope, forget about it, consulting, garbage, real estate, garbage, MLMs, garbage, crypto, freelancing, garbage. You can forget about all of it. And look, it's not that those things actually can't work, because I'm sure you've seen people who've made it work before. But if you've ever watched one of those 2-hour webinars about starting an online business, then you already know they create like 50 new questions, 50 new problems, and then there's 50 new skills that you have to learn. And unless you've got a giant vault of cash to help you get started fast, you're looking at like 1 to 2 years of backbreaking legwork minimum. Plus, if you're already working 40 hours a week, you don't want to add more work to your life, right? You want to be able to remove it. And so today, I'm here to show you something different. You
Hopefully that work
build
will replace
websites
my
or deal with
goddamn job.
suppliers, handle inventory, market your services, write content, create products, hire people, fire people, or do any of the business building whatsoever. All you need is the device that connects to the internet, along with Zoom, Google Hangouts, FaceTime, or any meeting app that you want to use. And get this, if you follow the steps that I'm going to share with you today to the letter, you'll be tapping into a booming $129 billion industry full of wealthy business owners who will stuff your pockets with daily commission checks of $980 or more, simply because you have the one skill that their business can't survive without. And I know all of this might sound hard to believe right now, but if you're interested, I'm happy to show you step by step how I did it myself, because after doing...
I only got one thing to say about that. Bro, if you want to get rich, make yourself useful to rich people. That's just simple as it get, bro. If you really want to get rich, and that's all he was saying. That's all any of those videos are ever talking about. If you really pay attention to them, they just trying to give you a niche to assist business owners. That's what the affiliate marketing shit was. That's what the Amazon business shit was. That's what the shit where the social media and marketing shit. That's what that shit was. All that shit is based off other people needing you. That's all it is. And that's with anything, bro. You can always make money off being needed. That's just simple as that. That's how a lot of people make money. Lawyers make money just off being needed. You know what I'm saying? That's just simple. Keep it going.
Seen people shot and killed in front of him. You know, I've seen a lot of crap go on in my life, but
that's like
seeing dogs.
People don't remember how they say that movie. Make yourself useful. That's some real shit, bro. Make yourself useful. That's one thing they ain't teach us in high school either, is making yourself useful. They did not teach you that in high school, bro. They just taught you busy work. Oh, do some busy work. For what? What is the end goal? You know what I'm saying? They're just, like, we'll be finished with the work. Teacher just want to give you some more work just so you'll be doing something. What the fuck? Is there not a goal to this? I'm just working just to work? That's crazy.
Being butchered in these absolutely inhumane ways that happen in Yulin, not only in Yulin, every time dog meat is prepared, there's a certain amount of torture involved, because it's believed that the more the animal suffers, the more tender the meat, some bullshit like this. So anyway, I'm not good.
Okay. But those not the only people believing that. Jewish people believe in that. That's what kosher meat is. Kosher meat is about, like, you gotta kill the cow a certain way to where it scream or some shit. I don't fucking know.
show you that, but I will show you the aftermath here, and you can see here in Yulin kind of what's going on. This is in Guangxi province. Okay, so these are 3 different provinces in the south that I've talked about now. Let's forget about the south for a little bit.
But he didn't really. He said that's bullshit, but he didn't say why. Like, it might be some truth to like scaring the animal before you kill it. Like, maybe that does make the meat. It could make the meat tougher, or it could make it more tender. It might depend on the animal. Shit, it might depend on a lot of things, you know. I hate when people oversimplify stuff. Like, stuff is never that simple, bro. It's never that simple.
Let's go north. So, you see, everybody should know that it's not just China that eats dogs, right? Korean people eat dogs. It's more shunned in Korea, and there's a lot more pushback against it these days. I'm talking about South Korea here. North Korea, I think they'll eat anything. We also have Vietnam and various other Southeast Asian countries, which of course eat dogs too. And I'm not trying to defend anyone. The thing is, those countries, they will kind of just say, yeah, we eat dog. But in China, you have these absolutely disconnected morons going online saying Chinese don't eat dogs.
Yeah, he is right. That is right. At least the other countries that admit it. You know, y'all just going on. That is one thing I don't like about China. They are liars, bro. I'm gonna do a lot of China lying videos.
Recently, I received a lot of personal letters asking me whether Chinese people eat dogs. So I want to clarify that Chinese people don't eat dogs.
As if, well, like I said, it's you'd have to understand China to understand why people could know so little about their own country. Honestly, if you ever want to know anything about China, the last person you want to ask is a mainland Chinese person. This is ridiculous, but it's true because of the insular way people live their lives and the way that they are forced to listen to state media all the time. And very few of them actually get out and explore their entire country, as I have. Anyway, back to the whole dog meat thing. So during conquering northern China, we went up to, of course, all the northeastern provinces, and we rode through on our motorcycles. And I noticed a lot more dog meat restaurants up in the north, far more than down in the south. Because as you drive on these we call them, usually we drive on the guodaos, which are these G roads, and those are kind of like trucks take them and...
See that? And it's them brown dogs. Them the same dogs I seen in Jamaica, bro. They look like stray dogs or something, bro. Like they like brown dogs, black noses. They just be like little brown. They almost look like small dark brown Labradors or something. You know what I mean?
They're the national roads. They're not the highways. And there are no tolls on them, which is nice, but they're always in bad disrepair. But then you get to see the kind of what the local truckers and stuff eat. And a favorite for all the truckers up north was these places that sell dog meat and sheep soup, yang tang and goro. And you see these. They're the national roads. They're not the highways. And there are no tolls on them, which is nice, but they're always in bad disrepair. But then you get to see the kind of what the local truckers and stuff eat. And a favorite for all the truckers up north was these places that sell dog meat and sheep soup, yang tang and goro. And you see these restaurants all over the place. So here I've filmed a dog meat, or what would you call it, shish kebab shop, that's a goro shop. Then closer to the Korean border, the North Korean border, you'd see a lot of these gaoli goro diens, which means Korean style dog meat restaurants. But it doesn't mean it's for Koreans or by Koreans. It's Chinese run restaurants staffed by Chinese people, meant for Chinese customers, obviously, and it's in a Chinese-only place, So it's one of those things, it's kind of like saying, Italian-style sausage or whatever. So Korean-style dog you can get in a lot of the areas up in Jilin and near the border of North Korea. This is something that I filmed myself, too. So, in the northern provinces, we got dog meat places in Shenyang. We saw dog meat places in Heilongjiang. We saw dog meat places in Jilin. We saw dog meat places up near Dalian and all these places. So, all of the different provinces that we went through and the cities we went through, you could see dog meat restaurants. But okay, what about the capital? Let's go to Beijing here. Now, it's very easy to find out if a place has dog meat or not, because all you need to do is load up Baidu Maps, which is, Google Maps equivalent, and type in Gorodian, which means dog meat store, basically. And that can be used for, restaurant as well. And, well, take a look. We've got examples of dog meat restaurants in Beijing. And I tell you what, this is not all of them, because Baidu only usually shows you the first 10 results. You can go in and see more. Okay, what about Shanghai, the most sophisticated city in China? No, at least that's what they claim it to be. Let's search there. What do we find? Yep, guess what? We got dog meat restaurants in Shanghai too. How about let's just zoom out and just do a search on the whole country. Dog meat restaurants. Well, I've got to say that's a lot. And each one of these is just, you zoom in, says like here, there's X amount of dog meat restaurants in this area, in this area, in this area. Now, of course, I have my own moral compass when it comes to dog meat. I think it's abhorrent, and I hate the practice of people eating dogs.
Okay.
But who am I to say whether it's correct or not based on another country's culture? And so if traditional Chinese culture demands this is part of what they do, fine. You get a lot of people arguing that, hey, what's the difference between dog meat and goat meat and, cow meat and stuff, and whatever. That's a good argument to be had another day. However, that's not what I'm talking about here. What I'm talking about is the fact that this is a provable, demonstrable fact that Chinese people eat dog, yet you have these so-called well-to-do, sophisticated netizens and people going online adamantly denying it, saying, no, Chinese people do not eat dogs. Chinese don't eat dogs. It's bullshit, and this shows you the mentality of China. No, Tiananmen Square massacre never happened. No, there's no oppression of the Uyghurs in Xinjiang. They're just all terrorists. No, Tibetans should not have the Dalai Lama, unless we choose it, of course. No, you are not allowed, I could go on and on and on. It's a bunch of bullshit, but basically, it's this disconnect, this denial. And the Chinese government does it too. They'll be like, oh, no, we don't do this. Meanwhile, they do it, and I can prove it. That's the thing. I've been there, I've seen that, I've filmed it, and I haven't even gotten onto the hygiene stuff yet. I got sidetracked by the whole dog meat thing, and I apologize for that, but, it is a passionate point that I will always stick to. I really don't agree with it. But what I really would like to talk about is how the current crisis has spread in China. You see, it starts by people eating all these random animals. And yeah, you might try to argue that the current, virus comes from perhaps a biolab or whatever, but no, there've been plenty of other examples like that bubonic plague case that we had, and SARS, and various other things in the past, which have come from animal to human transfer because of this very chaotic relationship that Chinese people have with eating random animals. So it starts there, but why is it that it spreads so quickly in China? Why is it that it does not spread as quickly outside of China? What's going on? Well, I can definitely say that it's down to hygiene.
I really want to see if Mongolia is part of China.
And China is about 100 years behind other countries when it comes to personal hygiene. And I'm talking about that in generalities, of course. This does not apply to Sanlitun in Beijing or Coco Park in Shenzhen or, the Bund in Shanghai. Of course, you can get a first world experience if you live, work, or hang around these big cities. But China in general, I kind of made it a point of kind of a fun little thing. The last road trip I did, big road trip in the north with Seamook, is every time we'd stop at a truck stop. Now, guys, truck stops, we all know truck stops are gross, right? Truck stops everywhere in the world are kind of gross. So, you got to keep that in mind. But I've been to some of the worst truck stops around these big cities. But China in general, I kind of made it a point of kind of a fun little thing. The last road trip I did, big road trip in the north with Seamook, is every time we'd stop at a truck stop. Now, guys, truck stops, we all know truck stops are gross, right? Truck stops everywhere in the world are kind of gross. So, you got to keep that in mind. But I've been to some of the worst truck stops in South Africa and some of the worst truck stops in America. You know, I'm talking about like along the borders of Mexico and stuff in Arizona and whatnot. And I've seen some pretty nasty stuff. But one thing that I've always noticed in South Africa and in America too is that no matter how filthy and run down the truck stop bathrooms are, you still have toilet paper available and you still have soap and a place to wash your hands. However, I was appalled at what I saw as I traveled through northern China. And I'm not trying to nitpick here and go like, oh, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad. Every single truck stop that we stopped at to fill up with petrol and, to take a rest, the bathrooms were unusable. I'm going to take a video. This is a truck stop toilet in China.
Damn.
Oh my word.
But I gotta show y'all this, boy. I can't even not show you this, boy. Look at that. Holes in the ground, bro.
Oh my word. What is that? This is disgusting. I think we need to do a handicap vlog here, dude. So, okay. Oh my word, that's just fucking foul. Let's take a look at this truck stop. Oh God, this is gross.
Y'all can go watch the video if you want to. I'm gonna leave the link
Wow.
in a little description.
This is bad.
Damn.
The smell is just...
Damn.
Oh my word. Oh, this is disgusting. Out of here.
Holes in the ground. They ain't even got no toilets, bitch.
Whoa. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Wow. What's inside this toilet, Simok? How about we open it up?
I need a piss size. This should be the...
Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit.
My word. Wow. What's inside this toilet, Simok? How about we open it up?
I need a piss size. This should be the place to do it, right? Uh-oh.
Whoa, no, hang on. There are hornets and stuff. There's flies
Damn.
and hornets everywhere. What? That's a big-ass hornet in there.
Damn. Damn.
Let's see what's inside these roadside truck toilets. See a lot of flies. Oh my fucking word.
Hole in the ground.
Oh my word.
That's how the toilet was on Slumdog Millionaire. It look just like them toilets on Slumdog Millionaire. Okay, we're talking about just holes in the ground, feces lying everywhere, no toilet paper, nowhere to wash your hands, no soap. It's disgusting. I've got footage I'm going to show you.
Your balls will thank you.
So if you guys aren't familiar with Manscaped, they have been one of the leaders when it comes to grooming your downstairs business, and now they just came out with their launch.
Commercial, bro. I still
Because, well, you've been seeing now that I've been playing in the background.
They got girls.
But this is why these things spread. People spit everywhere. Spitting is a huge problem in China. And I often get people in my comments saying, you said people in China spit. Well, in America, I see people spitting all the time. Bullshit. Okay? Yes, of course you get people that spit. And you'll come across them. But, you might see one guy in a month who'd take a spit, maybe, if you're watching a baseball game and they're dipping, But if you walk around in China in a city or a town, in a day you'll see plenty of people spitting, especially in the morning, people clearing their lungs. And again, it's down to traditional Chinese medicine, and it's an important thing to do. So people will be spitting all over the place. This spreads disease, especially the current...
I ain't gonna cap, bro. When I wake up in the morning, bro, I be hawking up all type of motherfucking mucus and shit from the day, especially if I drink a lot of milk. I think milk gotta play a part in that too. Like, that's why I don't drink milk. Because, like, with milk, I used to drink that shit. I just have mucus, like my throat would just be, it just be mucus all throughout the day. Whereas now I just have a little bit of mucus in the morning. Sometimes, like this morning, I don't even think I spit nothing up this morning, actually. You know what I'm saying? But when I was like you know, on the traditional American diet growing up, I used to hawk up shit all the time in the morning. You know, especially when I started smoking and shit. But even without me smoking, I was hawking up shit. As I got older, before I even started smoking, I just every time I go to brush my teeth, I'll be hawking up shit same time. Like I do that same time. Brush my teeth, hawking up shit same time. But like today, I didn't even hawk up shit. I don't think. But I hawked up that shit the day before. Yesterday though, yesterday I was hawking up plenty of shit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it definitely be happening. I think it got something to do with smoking though. Really. Like, if I smoke a lot the day before, I'm definitely gonna be hawking.
You know, virus that's going around, it spreads through droplets. So if you're spitting on everything, people and kids walking through your spit, they're going to pick up this disease. So that's one of these.
But I don't be spitting everywhere like that. Like I said, it just be in the mornings, shit like that. I don't be spitting all over the place. Oh, I be spitting when I drive out the motherfucking window on the motherfucking car behind me, nigga. Fuck you.
Issues. Snot rockets. I want to show you this clip that I filmed in Guangzhou, the first city of Guangzhou. It's one of the 4 best in the country. Here's this old guy. And one thing I'd like you to pay attention to is the fact that he has a bloody tissue in his hand. What does he do? He still snot rockets on the ground rather than blowing his nose in the tissue.
Whoa, isn't it? Whoa, bro. This man just, bro, he walking damn near look like motherfucking downtown New York somewhere. Dude just blowing the fuck out his nose. Big ass claw of snot just flew out his shit. And the crazy part is he had a tissue in his hand. He didn't even put the snot in the tissue, bro. I can see if I ain't got no tissue and you know what I'm saying? Or because it's like maybe it's a booger or some shit tried to fly in my nose or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Get out. Man, this man, like he got something, tuberculosis or some shit. And he just blowing out big ass drop of snot. It's a man sitting down, look like maybe three meters in front of him. And he ain't even looking at the dude. You know what I'm saying? He looking the other way. He ain't even worried about that shit. And there's people walking by the dude kinda, and you know, they're a couple meters away, but still, bro, I can see what bro's saying with hygiene. Like, that is dirty as fuck. But that's what I was saying about all that shit. And I done lived in Hawaii, bro. And I done went to Waikiki Beach. That bitch was dirty. Waikiki Beach was the dirtiest beach on Hawaii, bro. No cap. Not on Hawaii, on Honolulu, on Oahu. You know what I'm saying? Which is the island where Honolulu is. That Waikiki Beach, dirty as fuck. And I think one reason it's dirty is because they got like some type of concrete barrier out there. So it's just like, it's like the water just kind of sitting there, like the sediment. You know, of course new water gonna come in, you know, crashing over or whatever, you know, back and forth and shit. But like the heavier minerals and shit that sink to the bottom and the heavier water, that shit just sitting there, bro. And that's why Waikiki Beach is dirty as fuck. You know, last time I went, and every time I went, because I lived there for about a year or two. I lived in Hawaii for a year or two, and every time I went, Waikiki was dirty. We never even went there. We only went there because like the hotels and the scenery, and that's where the strip was at. But we used to go to the other beaches like Ever Beach and fucking the lagoons. I can't remember where the lagoons at. They was over there by the Marine base. The lagoons was over there by the Marine base, if not on the Marine base. But never go to Waikiki Beach though.
The tissue to clean up the disgusting bits of snot all over his hands.
Trash.
Why not just blow into the tissue?
I got that
well,
water, that
because
shit.
I guess that's why the grandparents allow the children to urinate and defecate on the streets too, because they just don't want to be near the stuff that they're expelling from their body, and they just want it out and gone. This is why these things spread. It's this lack of hygiene.
My bad, I'm talking over there.
Children to urinate and defecate on the streets too, because they just don't want to be.
Okay, so this lady got a little baby girl pissing in the sewer downtown. Whoa, imagine seeing that in America. Imagine you walking downtown Chicago, downtown New York, and as you walking down the street, a lady has her son or daughter pissing directly into the sewer. Whew. That is intense. I ain't gonna perk. That's wild. That's wild.
The stuff that they're expelling from their body, and they just want it out and gone.
You gotta think, bro. This is the biggest population in the world, like 1.5 billion people, bro. And it was just doing dirty shit like this all the time.
these things spread. It's this lack of hygiene, and it's systemic. It's part of society, especially the older generation. And you know, you've got millions and millions and millions of people who do not have proper personal hygiene. They're not used to washing their hands after going to the bathroom with soap or at all. Especially if you go to any kind of truck stop or any of these kind of public bathrooms anywhere, you don't even have the option to wash your hands. And they're just not used to not spitting and snot rocketing and whatever else in public. All of these things come together to create perfect storm. Eating rancid, weird, wild animals, and then not having any kind of hygiene to prevent the spread of these diseases. This is something you'll find all over the rural parts of China and in the cities too, unfortunately, because, you know, rural people got family in the cities too. Anyway, I'd like to wrap this up by saying that the very reason that I did not ever talk about these particular things and show these kinds of footages or try to judge too harshly is the exact reason why I am currently showing you this. I want everybody to know the truth. I want everybody to see what needs to be improved in China. If we're going to prevent future epidemics and pandemics from happening, China does need to change a few things, and they need some pressure from the outside world to do so. Otherwise, they never will. They need to stop this cruel practice of random...
He said, the reason I didn't show you is the reason I am showing you is because China, what?
Eating random things. And it's not just about eating, it's the way they treat the animals that's the worst. The animals go through absolute torture. And you know, these dogs that are being eaten and stuff, a lot of them have rabies and terrible diseases and stuff, because I know a guy who rescues these dogs. Every time he rescues a bunch of dogs, they are in terrible condition, riddled with disease. So, I mean, people are eating these diseased dogs and eating these diseased meats and random bats and civets and marmots and stuff. That's a bad idea. That's definitely going to cause issues. You know, if it's controlled and you have factories and you have, you know, vaccines and, you know, immunizations or whatever else that's necessary to make sure your meat's not tainted, that's fine. But this is very uncontrollable. And then, of course, all the bad personal hygiene habits which allow it to spread. These things need to change in China. So that's why I made this video. And I also wanted to put out a stark message to...
I just want to say, dogs aren't edible to me. I just want to say that. Like, they showing a picture of a dog. I can never look at a dog and, oh, I want to eat that. You know what I mean?
One who watches these morons walking around in Sanlitun in Beijing or Coco Park in Shenzhen or the Bund in Shanghai trying to pretend as if they know what's really going on in China, because they don't. You have to get off the highways. You have to see the majority of China, which is not in these first-tier cities. And once you've done that, and I resonate more with the rural...
That's just like in Africa, you got a lot of people eat, they eat bush meat, which consists, it could be monkeys, or whatever little animals that be popping out the bush, you know what I mean? And them bitches don't look edible to me at all. Like, I don't be thinking to eat a monkey. But you wanna know what do look edible to me? A motherfucking squirrel. I be thinking about eating them bitches all the time. I don't eat me.
Besides gonna do
just cause them bitches be running around, I doing whack one of them bitches across the head and eat one of them bitches. What else I be thinking? I wanna eat. They say it's a wild hog epidemic. As soon as that shit get like to Georgia somewhere, I'm going hunting. You know what I'm saying? That's what I wanna eat. I don't eat pork. But I heard hog is different, you know what I'm saying? Like that wild hog shit, so I'm gonna try that shit. I definitely want to try that wild hog shit. And what else? Just a little bit of that wild hog. I ain't big on pork. I fuck with deer too. I like deer meat too. Deer taste real good. They look like they taste good, honestly. Alligators, I don't know. But they taste good though. They tails be good as fuck.
To be honest, because I personally...
Buffalo look edible. Damn motherfucker. Buffalo look edible. An elephant does not look edible. Like the skin look tough as fuck. That bit look too tough. But a buffalo look edible. A gazelle look edible. Like you, like certain shit do look edible, my guy. I don't give a fuck. Like I'm not no vegetarian. I eat a mostly carnivorous diet, by the way. Like I eat mostly meat and a little bit of other shit with the meat, just so I be full, you know. Little vegetables, little rice or whatever, but primarily like meat be like the staple, nigga. You know. When I go to the grocery store, I get to picking out meat first, and then I go to buy other shit next. You get what I'm saying? I hit the
Place
meat
of
section.
privilege. I grew up in Africa. I grew up in a very, very harsh situation where I don't want to get into it too much, and I will in the future, but, you know, being a minority that grew up that was struggling and having a lot of crap and money was never around, and, you know, the entire country struggling just to kind of move forward. I know what it's like. So when I go to these posh areas in the cities and I see people spending on one meal what an entire family in the countryside of China will survive on in a month, it actually makes me feel a little angry, especially when those same people that live in these plush apartments in these fancy cities in these fancy areas get on their high horse and try to tell everybody that China's fantastic and great and has no issues. So anyway, guys, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. And as always, you know the drill. Stay awesome.
Mm-hmm.